Okay, guys. So here's the question. It's 2B versus 1B for sports here at Waterville. And, it's also Waterville Mansfield. And it's for the next 4 years. And the count just recently came out that Waterville Mansfield is going to be 2B for the next 4 years. All right, so here's what that means. We're going to be playing Lake Roosevelt, Brewster, Liberty Bell, Bridgeport, Oroville, Tonasket, Kittitas, maybe again, White Swan, Mapton. They'll all be 2B with us still. Warden is actually moving up to 1A, so we won't be competing against them anymore. And Okanagan's going to move up to 1A also, so we're not going to compete against them to go to state. We don't know what league we're going to be in yet. We might be in the north this time instead of the south. We might still be in the south. We're not sure. But basically it means teams like the Terrace and Eniat, teams that we played when I was here in high school, they're not in our league. They still won't be in our league because they're 1B. Teams like ACH, they're 1B. So here's what it means for the Shockers. For the Shockers, it just means that we're going to have to be a little bit better, because 2B teams are a little bit better than 1B teams, and it's a little bit more difficult to get to state, to get to regionals, sometimes even to get to districts. All right, so we're just gonna have to get better. We're gonna have to play more probably in the summer. We're gonna have to lift more weights. We're gonna have to get stronger. We're gonna have to get faster, and we're gonna have to get better, because that's what it means for us. So it's I think that some people like the 2B a little bit better because the competition is better. Sometimes when you're 1B, you get into games where the competition's not very good, but your chances to go farther in the postseason aren't as good. So there's drawbacks of both. I think the big thing right now is to focus on just getting better, because we can't be 1B. It's not going to happen. We got to be 2B. So we'll see what happens. Football, I don't know if you guys have talked to Mr. Kendrick yet, but it's a big deal for football, because if we were 1B, then we would play 8-man. But now that we're 2B for sure, we're either going to have to play 11-man, or we're going to have to do what we've been doing the last couple of years, where we play an 8-man schedule, but then our team can't compete for any postseason berths. So football is kind of a unique situation, and the football coaches are going to have to make that decision and decide whether or not we're going to go 11-man and compete against the 2B teams, or if we're going to keep competing, as a 1B school, even though we're not 1B. So that's kind of tough for football, especially. The other sports, like I said, for all the other sports, it's just a little more difficult. You look at last year, we were up at 2B level. Kelsey Browning went to state for state track. She finished 5th in the mile in 2B. The year before in 1B, she was 1st in the mile at 1B. See, so that's the difference sometimes between 1B and 2B. The competition's just a little bit better. So, Kelsey didn't get any slower. It's just the competition was better. Okay? So, those are kind of my thoughts on it. It's a big deal. It's important to a lot of people. But at the end of the day, we just got to step it up, and we got to do the best that we can. And we're going to have to work a little harder, for sure.
I don't want to be at 2B for the next 4 years at all. I'd rather be 1B. That's just a preference, I guess.
Me, myself, man, well, for Lakin, I don't think it matters for him because this is last year. And I still got another year, so does he. And it's going to be like, for football, we play like an independent league, so it doesn't really matter the 2B standings, because we play like 1B teams as well. So I guess I'm okay with it.
Hello?
Hey Heath, it's Christian.
Hey Christian.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How do you feel about being at 2B for the next 4 years?
It's gonna be the challenge, but it's where the state's putting us, so we gotta go out there and play.
Right.
Yeah. So, it's gonna be a big challenge. I believe we are in the talks of going 11-man, so we can compete for state and stuff like that. So that'll be helpful. And get competition, throughout the whole year.
For sure.
Yeah. But it'll be a challenge, of course. I think with the combination with Mansfield, we'll have plenty of students to continue having JV and varsity teams at the high school level, though. So,
Right.
on the boys' side.
I think it'd suck. The teams will be tough. I think if we went back to 1B, the teams will be way easier.
So, Kat, how do you feel about being 2B for the next 4 years? Thank you for your opinion.